What's up? It's your boy Carcino here as we get ready to get into it. And this is the truth behind the beef with Lil Wayne and Chris Bosh. Now, let's go to the beginning. Lil Wayne came up in the Cash Money situation. It was different. He was basically under juvenile, BG, and he wasn't really blowing up like that yet. But here it is. Once he got his own solo project and started to blow up, and Cash Money started to lose Juvie, Turk, and BG, and the Little One album flopped, and all these guys are falling out, and Wayne is kind of like getting ready to change his flow, and they coming out with a new label with Young Money and all that stuff, and they getting ready to drop the new imprint. During that whole stage of them going through the transition, you have a bunch of new artists that was brought in, some from New York, up east, Midwest. You know, the label was restructuring itself because they had lost so much money. So, by doing that, they went ahead and came out with Young Money imprint on another label to try to strengthen Cash Money. So they used Young Money imprint. Normally, that only worked in other aspects of music. Never really worked in rap too much. But in this case, it worked. You know, Young Money ended up taking off, but Stuntin' Like My Daddy and all that stuff was popping. But during the making of that time, he ran into this groupie girl, one of their tours, they out there performing, and he met Adrian. This girl was very pretty, you know, looking like Christina Milian a little bit. You know, Adrian. And Lil Wayne was like smitten with her. You know, took her out a couple of times. You know, they used to Nextel chirp. And that was like his homegirl. You know, they used to talk, chill, and one day she ran the story on him and said that she had the test results and it said that she had cancer. And he was like, oh man, you know, he was really hurt by it. And for people who don't know, Lil Wayne is a cool dude. You know, actually meeting Lil Wayne and everything, I can say he's one of the coolest rappers ever. Like, it's not an act with him. He's really a laid back guy. Like I told y'all, like y'all wouldn't even know Lil Wayne is an exceptional bowler. Like, he can bowl a 300 game. He's like, could be a professional bowler if he really wanted to. He's that good. And I'm like, man, he was like, because he didn't know my name. We was all sitting over there like, hey, Ash, man, you want to go bowl? You know how to bowl? I'm like, yeah, I'll bowl. He's like, all right, we going to do teams. You going to be on A team, you going to be on our team. You know, we finally got a bowling alley. Ain't nobody in there. It's like 24 hours. You can just go in there and bowl. So, that was all good. You know, you able to see Lil Wayne, once he see that you a regular person, like you ain't freaking out that he's there, you know, everything is all good. You get to see the real Lil Wayne, and he's really cool. Like, laid back, just straight funny, but he's a real, genuine human being. Like, he got good heart. And when the girls told him that she had cancer, Lil Wayne cried, and you know, he really felt for this girl and wanted to help her out, and he gave her like $10,000. I don't know if that's the exact amount, but that's the exact amount that was floating around, 10,000. It could have been less, could have been more. So once she got the money and stuff, and she supposed to let him know how the treatment went, And she played it right. She tried to give him the money back. Like, no, I couldn't do that. I would feel guilty because I don't know how I'll pay you back for this. He was like, I just want you to get better. I really want you to get better. And he gave her the money, and then she disappeared on him, basically. You know, like, she was gone. He trying to call her, whatever, she wasn't answering. She was up. And then he was trying to find out from people who knew her, like, and they were like, you fell for that, man? That girl ain't got no cancer. And a lot of people said, oh, she spent that money to go get a fake butt. She used your money to get a fake butt and go get her an NBA player. But before that, she was in all the high profile events, you know, moving, rotating around all the rappers and hanging out at parties. And she ran into a couple of other professional boxers and made her way up until she met Chris Bosh when he came over, the Big Three, to Miami, because Adrian was trying to stay away from the Lil Wayne scene. You know, whenever Wayne was going to be there, she didn't want to be around. But once, you know, she started dating, you know, Chris Bosh, and they got serious, and she was able to get him, you know, she immediately forgot her past, which I'm not mad at her about. She did a hustle. She came up, and when she got there, she's like, okay, I'm a family woman now. That my past is my past, and I don't look backwards, I look forward. Now, I have no problem with that. Now, here's where the problems come into play, where it gets out of hand. Now, she comes in, and eventually Lil Wayne was at a game. He comes in, and he's like kicking it with LeBron and all them in the back locker room. And then he comes out to sit courtside. He passes the wives, and Wayne, and then somebody tapped Wayne, was like, ain't that the B you used to hit? And he was like, yeah, like, man, F her. You know, and like, he ain't even bothered, and went to the seat. She was uncomfortable because she's like, oh man, now this brings my past back. But Wayne ain't never said nothing to her. He just kept moving, but he know her. But she like, I'm gonna be seeing Lil Wayne a lot. I gotta have this division in there. So she went and told Chris Bosh, allegedly, I don't want Lil Wayne coming to the games. I can't come to the games no more. She was like, why? I don't feel comfortable with Lil Wayne being there. You know, we had a past relationship. Things didn't go well. I'm not sure on what he's going to do, but today, you know, when they were at the game, they were looking at me that made me feel uncomfortable. You know, I feel threatened, and I just don't feel comfortable. So if he's going to be at the game, I'm just going to stay at home. Bosh is like, nah, you ain't got to do that. I talk to them owners and the management. I ain't going to let nobody threaten my wife. So he went up there, talked to management and the ownership or whatever, and told them the situation. And just out of instincts, they just was like, oh, it's a safety concern with your wife? Oh, we don't want that problem. We'll just bar him, and then we'll send him a chain email through the NBA, and basically Lil Wayne was, without question, was barred from all the NBA arenas without even a conversation from Lil Wayne. Because they thought he's trying to mess with Chris Bosh's wife while they're married. They don't even know the situation. And no one sent any word to Lil Wayne. He's finna show up to a game, and they talking about, we can't let you in. You've been barred from every NBA arena. So obviously he was livid. So when he went on stage, he just was like, Chris Bosh F the Miami Heat, F the whole organization. You know, he was mad. He's like, they started this all because of this girl, because I F'd his wife years ago. And we all heard the rant. But he was mad because Lil Wayne has never caused any problems in an NBA facility. Not one. Not one. This is a girl who felt like she needed to keep her past in the past, but what she did was make somebody mad and brought it all up to the forefront. Wayne wasn't mentioning her. She was like a non-issue. She brought herself to the limelight with this and threw herself in this triangle, and it blew up to where now it's going to be in social media everywhere. So at this point, you know, Wayne apologized to LeBron for the situation. Like him and D-Wade and all them, they was like, look, we'll talk to Chris, you know, find out what's what. Because, you know, he wanted to make sure, first and foremost, that his relationship with LeBron and everybody else was still intact. Because the NBA just up and barred him for no reason. Because of Christina Bosh. I mean, not Christina, but Adrian Bosh. And Adrian Bosh does a lot of charity work. She does, you know, she should be above all this. She's moved on. And now she's trying to act like Lil Wayne is the one trying to start with her and everything else when they the one put the bar on Lil Wayne. So, with that being said, we're going to continue this at another time because it got crazy. After this, and hearing the rant that was in Houston, it went back to Miami and got lost in translation. Something purposely that he said, F the Miami Heat, and he's talking about the Heat situation, that Lil Wayne was saying F Miami. Now, even though he's talking about Miami Heat, and the people are like, hey, what do you mean? He coming after the city. This is Dade County and blah, blah, blah. And now Lil Wayne got a situation in Miami because of this. All this trends to come from one woman. And people be like, man, people still fighting over women. Man, I told you the deadliest thing on this earth, the deadliest weapon is vagina. It's the deadliest weapon on earth. Did you see the movie Troy? that right there was the icing on the cake. You united an entire country that been fighting each other. Greeks has been killing each other. All the little cities was tearing each other apart. Once they heard that somebody from Troy came over and took one of their bras and slept with somebody's wife that was one of theirs, they was at war with that person and was like, you know what? I feel him. I don't like them over there. We need to all unify and go on over there and go to war with them. Over a woman that they didn't even hit. Just like, man, if he gonna come over there and do that, man, I could have had his queen. But now she done gave it up to one of them over there in Troy. We going all the way to Troy, and they had to take boat rides. That was days. And this wasn't no motors in the boat. This is people actually physically pushing the waters and rowing to go over there and fight these people over this woman. Swam across the sea. And you know the Bible is everything. A woman was in the center of almost every single thing on this planet. So if a woman is causing this, hey, I expect it. I don't know what these type of women get out of doing this stuff. That's what gets me. It's like, what is the purpose? Do you need your name in the highlights? You know, it's like, live your life. You good. But we're going to get into what this calls later. Finna check out right now. I got some things to do. Peace.